Okay, welcome back. In previous videos, we actually calculated the total for all the salespeople, especially as well as the specific sale for each of the salespeople. Now that we know what each one of these people sold for the 4 weeks, the question now is, did they meet the actual sales goal for the month? So in order to answer that question, we are going to tell Excel to tell us the answer to that question on this column, on column H. For example, did I, Mario, meet the sales target, the sales goal for the month? Just by looking at it, you can tell that is true. Yes. I, Mario, did sell $40,345, which is more than the monthly goal of $40,000. But we want the process to be automated. And to do that, we're going to use the if function. So in order to do that, we're going to click on the cell where we want the formula to be, and we're going to click on the insert function and find the if function. Double click, click OK, and then you're going to have this function arguments box open. Let's put that here for example, and here it's asking us what the logical test is. What is a logical test? A logical test is any value or expression that can be evaluated to be true or false. For example, which value do we need to evaluate to see if this is true or if this is false? So the value that we have to evaluate is the total sales for each of the salespeople in comparison with the monthly goal. Okay, so which means we are going to say we're going to click on cell F5 and then hold down our shift key and type the greater sign on the keyboard, and also type on the equal sign, and then we're going to click on cell I2, which contains the monthly goal. So essentially what we're saying here is cell L5 is the value in cell L5, which is 40,345. Is it greater than or equals to the value in cell I2? The answer is yes here, as you can see, because 40,345 is obviously greater than 40,000. So Excel tells us it's true here. Okay, now that we know that it's true, now that we have that value, the logical test, now that we have that test indicated, if it is true, what should we do? If it is true, for us, we can do anything here. We can type in celebrate, you can type in yippee, but for us, we're just going to type in simple yes. But remember, you can't just type in yes, you have to put it in quotation. So, okay, make it properly done. Okay, and what if it's not true? If it's not true, then type in 0. Because 0 is a number, we don't have to put the quotation around it. So as you can see here, if the value is yes, you type in yes. Excel recognize that's yes, so indicates yes. And if the value is 0, it's 0. So the formula result, this show tells you if the formula result, if the formula is okay. And as you can see here, it says yes. One thing I did not describe, I don't know if I described the value if true, what it mean. This is just to tell you if the value if true section is to tell you that if the conditions up here is met, if it is true, this is what you write, this is what you indicate. If it is false, this is what you indicate. Okay, all right, so let's click OK. So clearly, as you can see here, the value is true because $40,345 is more than $40,000. All right, so we in previous videos we talked about using the autofill. Could we do the same here? Maybe. So let's give that a try. So we're going to autofill the rest. Unfortunately, it did not work. You can see here 33,475. Excel is telling us that it is greater than 40,000, which by my count, that's not true. Okay, so something is definitely wrong here. How about we click on the formula, the cell containing the formula we created that we know to be correct, and we're going to go to the formulas tab again and find trace precedence. If we click on trace precedence, it tells us what we're doing. It's telling us that the precedence is cell F5 right here and cell I2. Okay, so that's good. How about the next one? Let's try the next one. Trace precedent. Well, it's telling us that the cell with the values are cell F6, which is okay, and cell I3 right here. That is not right. This should always reference cell I2 and not move downward. Let's try the other one and see what's happening here. As you can see, this is a problem. So we've run into this problem before in previous videos where we use absolute referencing. If you haven't done that, please go back to previous videos and then check that out. So we're going to remove the arrows and click on the initial cell that we had the correct formula, and then go to the formula bar to see. You can see here where it says I2 that it is not absolutely referenced. So what we're going to do is to click on that I2 and then click the F4 button to absolute reference it. We can do that, or we can put a dollar sign before the I and put a dollar sign before the 2. By that, we just wrap the I2 with dollar sign. But that's tedious, especially if you have that's a tedious process. The easy way to do it is to just click on it and click on F4. And as you can see, dollar sign before I and dollar sign before 2. Okay, that. So what that means now is that this this monthly goal, this I2, is going to be referenced whenever we're dealing with any of the other staff members. So if we autofill now, it should work. There you go. As you can see, 40,000 plus is exceeds the target. 33,000 plus does not, so you have 0. 37 does not. $37,000 does not. 40,705 does, yes. 34,000, no. 42,000, yes. So this is working for us now. Okay, so the next step is to calculate the commission rate. Now that we know that some of these people actually made the target and some did not, how much will each person make? Remember, not everyone is going to make money here, but we have to tell Excel that only if somebody makes the monthly goal of $40,000 and exceed it, then they will get a commission rate of 5%. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, in order to do that, we're going to click on the cell for each of the salespeople, and we're going to click on and we're going to select the if function by clicking on the insert function. And for the logical test, we are going to say if H5 is equals yes, which is true, then the value is going to be F5 multiplied by 5%. A false is going to be 0. So what we say here is that if H5 is yes, if this salespeople meet the sales target, then multiply their total sales by 5% so they can get a commission of 5%. All right. If they don't meet if it's false and they don't meet the goal, then indicates 0. So let's OK that. All right. So let's use autofill to see the rest of the value. That's correct. All right. So we've been able to calculate the commission rate as well as the sales target. So how do we even know this is working? If I select, let's say for example, Estacho did not meet the target, but if by whatever magic, or if we use this as a template later for maybe the month of May, and Estacho now sells, let's say, $20,000 in week 3, you can see that everything changes. Estacho meets the sales target for sales target now for the 1,975, and he is getting a commission. Let's undo that. The same thing with eBright. So let's say eBright barely missed it. So let's say for the second week they sold $15,000. There you can see that these changes as well. Okay. All right. So that's how to make that calculation. The next and final task here is to do something called a compound or a nested formula to calculate 2 logical tests. It requires 2 logical tests because we are given 2 conditions. 1, the department as a whole must have a total sales of at least $220,000. That's one condition, and the other condition is that they have to have an average sale of $9,500 before each person can get $600 as a team bonus. All right. So in order to do that, we're going to use our insert function to insert the if function. However, this time around, we need a function within a function. If function only allows for 1 logical test, but we need to have 2 logical tests to account for the total sales and the average sale. So one logical test here is not good enough. So we're going, instead of typing any value here, we're going to type in the AND function, which allows us to have more than 1 logical test. Okay, and open parentheses. If you now look at the formula bar that up here, you see that it has given us the AND function nested within the if function. So in order to call up this AND function, whatever you do, do not click OK here. Just go ahead and go to the formula bar and click on the AND function, and then you have the AND function argument with 2 logical tests initially shown. So the AND function gives us the opportunity to enter more than 1 logical test, something which the if function does not. So now, what is the first logical test? The first logical test is total sales greater than $220,000. So we say F12 is greater or equals to 220,000. Okay, that seems to be true. And then the second one is the average sale more than 9,500. F13 greater than or equals to 9,500. That seems to be true. if you notice here, you can enter up to 255 conditions. That's amazing. Whereas in the if function, you can only enter one logical test or one condition. All right, so we only need 2 logical tests, which we've already entered. Now, so what do? Do we click OK now? No, we go back and click on our if, on the if. We go back to the formula bar and click on the if function. We have a compound logical test here now. So if this compound logical test, if this is true, if these multiple conditions, if they are all met, which you can see they are met here, so what happens? That is value if true. So what do we do then? We are going to say, we can type in whatever we want here. So for me, I'm going to type commission paid. Remember, always with the quotation, commission, or just say pay commission or pay bonus, whatever you want. And if false, quotation, no commission. Okay, and now we can enter we can press the OK button now. All right, so you can see now that looking at the cell I-12, that the result is for each of the employees to be paid their commission, because that's the team bonus commission, because they did meet or exceed the 2 conditions listed here. So what happens, for example, if they did not? So let's try and say maybe Mario did not sell anything in week 2. Maybe they were sick, and as you can see, the average decreases and none of the team members will get a commission. It says no commission. All right, so let's undo that. This is exactly how you use the if function. There's so many other ways that you can use this. You can use your imagination and things that allows for condition, and when those conditions are met or not, what you should ask Excel to do. This is always a very interesting function in Excel. All right, so now that we've done with this, so please do meet me on the other side, play with this a little bit more, and get your hands a little bit more refined, get your skills a little bit more refined, and then meet me on the other side.